Why was this young man shot 6 times and killed in cold blood?
This same young man, tall in stature, looks like my nephew or my husband or what my son will probably go up to look like. You put a helmet and a jersey on him, and instead of being feared, he's revered.
The first time I saw my baby cousin and what happened was on Facebook, and I saw him land in a pool of his own blood. And you can imagine how that felt.
I think that this entire thing would have a lot more traction if people pulled away from the poor Mike Brown, he's a victim, an innocent kid that was shot in the back and all of that, and looked at something a little bit more concrete, like perhaps why it is that law enforcement is so quick to draw guns on people without weapons.
I have been in that situation where you have your weapon drawn, where you engaged in it with an individual, regardless of race, gender, what have you. People don't always comply. This is not an easy decision to make by far. It is a heavy burden that police carry. And I have to tell you, it is one of the worst places to be put in as an individual, to make that call and then risk making the wrong call. Because it could be him, and you take the shot, and you take that person down, or you risk it, and then it can be you.
The history of this country is that we have certain freedoms to move about, and when you see our government acting out in what looks like a militaristic fashion against its own citizens, I think we all of our teeth get set on edge.
I hate what it is doing to all of us. I hate that it is dividing races. I hate what I see on social media. But I also have to agree with Vanessa that I do think that there has been a lack of transparency when it comes to this police department in their initial investigation.
Hold on.
And that's why people have this distrust.
You need to thoroughly determine the individuals that you take and give a badge and a gun and put them out onto the street to police. Are they there because they want to preserve and protect human life? Great, you put them out there. But if they are not, if they're looking to be cowboys or make these decisions or be bullies or abuse their power, they do not deserve to have a badge or a gun.
Fear seems to be one of the motivating problems in this entire circumstance, and seeing a bunch of guys with AK-47s aimed at you creates a little fear.
They need to be dressed in these military clothes. They need to be with these SWAT trucks because they have a duty to make sure that everything is in order within their jurisdiction, and they need to keep people safe.
And I think right now, so many people have so much vested interest in this story that I'm sad, I'm concerned, I'm frustrated, I'm angry like everyone else in this country because I'm not quite sure that we're actually going to get to truth.
The word justice is being thrown around a lot, and I'm fearful that if the course of justice plays out and it doesn't go the way somebody wants it to go, somebody's going to be pissed.
If this man is not found guilty, this is going to leave our country damaged and divided.
They may never see an arrest. They may never see a guilty verdict. And we need to be able to prepare them for that and still say the fight keeps going. This is a 24/7, 365 fight.
Until we get real about relationship and what matters in this country, and until we start having frank dialogue and not be afraid to hurt each other's feelings, nothing is going to change.
Until we figure out and can come to some discourse and conversation about slavery. I mean, it still is rooted there. We cannot forget that. And we are told as a community to forget that. We got to start there.
Now, this email really bothered me, and I need to warn the viewers, the language in the email is offensive. But I think we need to kind of look at it. Again, if having these conversations means looking at the ugly warts. Here it is. So I'll let you have at it, Jennifer.
Yeah, so it said, I just cut off the interview you were on with Dr. Drew. It's instigators like you and Jackson and Sharpton that causes ignorant, lazy, in capital letters, blacks, to have such difficult lives. Being involved in public education for decades, I know, in capital letters, what your race has done and caused to bring it down, in capital letters, to the bottom. Even those of you in administration are often more of the problems than those feral students. If it was not, in capital letters, for affirmative action, the most of you would be cleaning toilets and back in our cotton fields where whites were safe and without fear of being killed by your people.
And the network,
that's the tame portion of
right, the network has asked me to stop there. If you can believe it, it gets worse.
I really took this to be, honestly, a wake-up call that there does need to continually be this kind of dialogue.
When I hear that letter that was written to Jennifer, you know, part of me goes, wow, how horrible is that? But then there's that other piece that says, you know what? That tells me that she struck a nerve.
We need to stop using words like you and them and they. It's our problem. The president did say something that I thought was extremely relevant last night, that we have a history. This country has a history. We have history, and we need to solve that together. Not by us and them, not because of somebody who didn't get something and somebody need justice against you, against them. That's divisiveness. We need to come together with this. I think we all agree on just about everything in this panel, but we have very intense feelings about it. We've got to put our feelings aside a little bit and stay in the solution.